In this video, we're going to talk about the fastest method for growing muscle in beginners. What's up guys, Ryan here, treadawaytraining.com, where we help busy professionals get more results in less time, guaranteed. Now, before we jump into today's topic, there is one term that you need to understand, and that is progressive overload. Progressive overload is actually a really big topic, but in this video, the main thing that you need to know about progressive overload in its simplest form is we're basically taking our exercises and we are making them harder over time. And that's basically what you need to know about it. And we're going to be doing that by adding weight. So there's a lot of different ways you can make your exercises harder. You can add reps, you can do this or that, but we're going to be talking about adding weight in this video. And that's how we're going to progressively overload those exercises. Now, the method that we're going to be talking about is single progression. Now, there are three acute variables that we have to play with when it comes to working out. We have our sets, we have our reps, and we have our weight. And we're only going to be messing with one of those reps with this method, hence the single progression. And the variable that we're going to be playing with is the weight, like I've already stated. So basically what we're looking at here is we will have the same amount of sets, the same amount of reps each session, and then only the weight will change in between sessions. So let's just pick one exercise and let's see how that would look over the course of several workouts. So let's say we're going to do 3 sets of 10 on a dumbbell bench press. So let's say that we go in and we do 3 sets of 10, and then we do 10 pounds on the first session, 15 pounds the next session, 20 pounds the next session, and we just keep following that pattern, and then we just add weight every time we go into the gym. And you might be wondering how this is actually the best way to go about adding muscle if you're a beginner, because you might be thinking, well, this sounds very simple. This sounds pretty basic. How is this the best thing for me? All I'm doing is changing the weight. The reps are staying the same. The sets are staying the same. All this. How is this the best? And the fact that it is so simple is actually how it is the best, because it's more aggressive, because we're not dropping reps, we're not dropping sets, and we're going up in weight each session. So it's actually a very aggressive way to go about progressing your workouts. Now, in order to illustrate this, let me give you another type of progression, and then we will compare the two. Let's take a look at double progression. With this double, we're going to be changing 2 variables, and in this case, we're going to be changing the reps and the weight. The sets are going to stay the same. So let's say on the first session, we're going to do 10 reps. The second session, we're going to do 8 reps. And then the third session, we're going to do 6 reps. And then we're going to use the same example. We're going to use the dumbbell bench press. So let's say you do 10 pounds again. We'll have the very same first session. So the first session for both of these examples will be 3 sets of 10, and we'll be using 10 pounds. But with the double progression, instead of doing 10 reps again, we'll drop that down to 8 reps on session 2. So we'll have 3 sets of 8, and we'll do 15 pounds. And then the next session, we'll drop the reps down again, and we'll do 3 sets of 6, and we'll go up 5 more pounds, and we'll do 20 pounds. So we'll do. So after that third week, what we would do is we would loop back around to 10 reps. Okay, so it would be 3 sets of 10 again, and then we would drop the weight back, but instead of dropping the weight all the way back to where we were when we did 3 sets of 10 the first time, the goal would be to be able to do more weight at that same number of reps than the last time. So instead of dropping it back down to 3 sets of 10 with 10 pounds, we might drop it back to 3 sets of 10 with 15 pounds. So you see, instead of doing 10, we're doing 15, so we're making some progress there. So let's carry this out another time. So we'll do session 1, 3 sets of 10 with 15, session 2, 3 sets of 8 with 20, and then session 3, it would be 3 sets of 6 with 25. So instead of 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds, it's 15 pounds, 20 pounds, 25 pounds. So then we carry that cycle out one more time, and we'll bring the reps back up to 10. So we'll do 3 sets of 10. And instead of dropping that weight back to 15 pounds, then what we'll do is we'll drop it back to 20 pounds. So now we'll do 3 sets of 10 with 20 pounds. Then the next session we'll go in and we'll do 3 sets of 8 with 25 pounds. And then we will go in for that last session. We'll do 3 sets of 6 and we'll do 30 pounds. So you'll see we're dropping that weight back every time we raise the reps, but we're not dropping it back all the way. So we're kind of doing this wave loading pattern. And so you can get a visual representation of what I just said. I'll throw a graphic up on the screen right here. And what you'll notice is we went up weight, and then we dropped it back a little bit. Then we went up weight, dropped it back a little bit, up weight, and so on and so forth. And then over time though, even though we're doing this up and down, over time it makes this straight line upwards. And all of that to say, let's look at a graphic of the first method, the single progression that we are originally talking about. Let's overlay that with this double progression method. And as you'll see, they're both going upwards over time, but that single progression, if you are able to just add weight each session, then you need to do so. That is the most aggressive way that you can go about progressing your workouts. And progressive overload is the most important factor for growing muscle. So you see, we're going up in weight over time with both, but we have the double progression here, and then we have the single progression here. So we're adding more weight. So yes, it is simple, but the simplicity of that progression pattern is what makes it so aggressive. Now, you won't be able to continue with this progression pattern forever. If you could just keep adding weight without having to change anything else over time, then you would just eventually be able to lift infinite weight. And obviously you don't see people out there lifting buildings or anything like that. So you will eventually have to drop back the aggressiveness of how you're progressing, and you'll have to drop back into a method like the double progression that we just talked about, or even triple progression, where we are changing the weight and the reps and even the sets. So as you continue to work out, your body will no longer adapt to what you are doing. It will no longer adapt to these stresses as quickly because it's getting accustomed to these stresses. They're not new anymore. And so you'll have to do a little bit more manipulation with all of these different variables in order to continue getting a little bit more muscle growth and a little bit more muscle growth out of your muscles. But we want to stay with this single progression for as long as we can. If you can continue adding weight with good form without having to drop back on the reps, then that is the best case scenario. But like I said, we can't do that forever, and that's why I said that this is the best method specifically for beginners. And that's why I have most of my new clients on single progression when they first start with me. Sometimes I'll get some clients who already have some workout experience under their belt, and this method simply won't work for them because they're past that point where they can continue going up in weight without having to drop back in reps and change other things. But with the people that I get that are brand new to working out or haven't worked out in a long time, this is the method that I start them out on because it is the most aggressive way to get them the most amount of results in the shortest amount of time. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, make sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and ring that little bell icon too, so YouTube lets you know when I upload a new video. I will be back Sunday at 3 p.m. on the Treadaway Training Blogcast. So make sure to check that out. treadawaytraining.com/blog. As always, God bless you and your family, and I'll see you Sunday.